Hello guys, I'm back as a part of the usual English speaking practice session. Now I'm gonna speak about this today. I came here with a topic. It's none other than a menace that we face right now, or the menace of the contemporary society. There are lots of menaces, or there are a lot of problems that our society faces right now, but this problem is truly a destructive thing. It's drugs. Yeah. Many of you might have heard issues or news about drug abuses, the drug uses, and the news of mass selling or agents or groups who's been working in the commercialization of these drugs. We can say drugs are not at all, you know, destructive when we use it wisely, when we use it for our benefits. But beyond that, as we speak or as we say, everything beyond its limits is poison. Everything beyond its limits is poison. Yeah, in the case of drugs, this is the same too. We know we use this medicine or we use this chemicals as a part of our life in medication sector, in cleaning sector, in many other sectors, in automobile sector. But here, in the case of intoxication or in the case of abuses, those who are being victim of this are using drugs to get pleasure, to get instant pleasure. Sometimes they also have that regret when they use this, but after being addicted to it, or after getting addicted to it, there is no going back. Yes, there is a going back if they intend to go in the right way, if they wish, if they decide to stop this. But many of the cases are, the users or the consumers of drugs are usually gets trapped or usually gets destroyed themselves. So speaking of drugs, in medicines we have to use drugs in the need for solution or cure. There are certain limits even for that. If we take a certain medicine without the prescription or without the direction of the doctor or any related person related to health or medicine, we'll get into some danger, right? So in this case, even in the medication or even using drugs for medication, there is a limit. There is a limit which is decided by the physician or doctor or the psychologist, whatever, whoever. So beyond that, it's also a cause of destruction for themselves. There are certain medicines that we don't get when we approach medical stores without the prescription of a licensed doctor. Even after getting a prescription for a certain time, some misuses this prescription to get medicine for other purposes by showing this prescription. Yeah, it's a common thing that happening all around the world, or here in my native place, Kerala, especially in Kodungalur. Once I had an experience when I reached a medical store with this prescription that I got. I didn't have a physical prescription. I had a photo of that, and I showed this photo to ask the medicine to buy the medicine. Then the pharmacist didn't give me the medicine because he is a concerned person, he is a responsible person, I should say. Then I had this hate towards him. I had this bad mentality towards him, bad perspective towards him. But when I stood in his place, when I thought in the place of his role, I felt that he is right. Here he is the responsible person. He is the rightful person who said the right thing. I didn't got the medicine, even though I felt that it is the necessary thing to do. It is what he is employed for. It is what he's entrusted with, to give with medicines by showing. If we show prescription, if we didn't show prescription, he will not give. I felt like, there are some people who is this kind. I mean, they are responsible about the good and bad things that happen in the society. They are responsible about a person a person as a young person, as seeking for medicine. They are responsible. I felt very proud when I got to know there are people like him around. Then, speaking about drug abuses or drug uses, first, when we use drug, this is not from my experience, but from the experience of those who used it and those who published it online, or from the friends that I had who used this kind of things. It felt, when we use it firstly, we will not feel anything. We feel that this is a foreign thing, right? Any foreign thing that get into our body will reject it, right? So when it first used, or when a person uses this first, it will reject. Like vomiting will happen, like fever will happen, like cold will happen, or any rejection or defensive mechanism will be active, then will be get activated and it will reject it. Then, but even though these things get activated, or rejection methodologies or rejection activities gets activated, or a system gets activated, we'll get a pleasure. The first thing is we'll get a pleasure. I'm saying that this is pleasure of the moment, or this is pleasure of the instant. When we continue to use it, that pleasure will not be enough for to satisfy our needs. Then, if we continue to use this first, I think that happening is, first it's a starting, then it gets addicted, then it gets intolerance. Sorry,